Mr. Speaker, none of us on this side are claiming that the Affordable Care Act is perfect. In fact, for 7 years, we have been prepared to work with our Republican colleagues in a bipartisan way to make it even better, to cover more people, to find ways to lower costs. But for 7 years, my Republican colleagues had no interest in doing that. All they wanted to do is repeal the bill, repeal the bill, repeal the bill, and offer no alternative. Now we see their alternative, and it's an awful alternative. It is a disaster. It is an alternative that came not out of a deliberative process, but out of some back room somewhere. People haven't even read this bill. They don't even know what it does because we're not even waiting for a CBO score. This is a pathetic process that everybody should be ashamed of. And let me just say, to claim or to imply that the Republican plan covers people with pre-existing conditions, it is a lie. It is a lie. And let's be honest about it. This does not cover people with pre-existing conditions. And to come on the floor and say it does to try to fool people, well, you may get away with it in the short term. You may get a headline. But I'll tell you, people will figure out soon enough when they're denied health care coverage, when they see their costs rise and rise and rise. To have a health care bill that throws 24 million Americans off of health insurance, you should be ashamed. You know, to have a health care bill that cuts Medicaid by $880 billion so you give a tax cut to the wealthiest people in this country, you should be ashamed. And I spent a good deal of my time reading letters from organizations like the National Farmers Union, the AARP, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Parallel Association, on and on and on. Organizations that have dedicated their lives to help people in this country that know something about this subject. And when it comes down to who do I trust, them or you, on whether or not your bill covers people with pre-existing conditions, there's no contest. I trust them. They see what you're trying to do. It is unconscionable to not only me and to people on our side, but to people who are watching this debate, Democrats and Republicans and independents alike, that we would be spending time debating a health care bill that will make life worse for people in this country. You know, any kind of health care bill that came to this floor ought to be about expanding coverage and lowering costs. We want to work with you on that. And instead, you come to a bill that's going to rip health care away from tens of millions of people. How can you do this? How can you do this to the American people? Terrible bill. You should vote no on it, or better yet, pull it. I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentleman's time has expired. House will be in order.